So apparently, through the use of Lidar, they have discovered that there are enormous structures underneath the Great Pyramid that go kilometers deep into the earth with coils.
Is there not a hidden chamber as well?
In fact, there is a whole underworld at Giza.
Like this was the Labyrinth was this sort of 1,000-room structure that was supposedly just absolutely magnificent. You could have fit all of the temples of Karnak and Luxor and all of the temples of Egypt into its footprint.
The Great Pyramid of Giza, the last surviving wonder of the ancient world, still guards secrets beneath its colossal stones. Modern scans have revealed a hidden underground labyrinth and sealed chambers, untouched for millennia. Explorations of similar sites hint at astonishing discoveries, passages, voids, and ancient engineering marvels that challenge everything we thought we knew. What lies inside this subterranean maze that has left experts baffled? Join us as we uncover what has just been found inside the Great Pyramid, secrets that will leave you speechless. Discovery of hidden chambers, scan pyramids. In 2018, the world's attention turned once again to Egypt. For the first time in over 4,000 years, scientists peered inside the Great Pyramid using technology that could see through stone. Infrared thermography and cosmic particle analysis revealed hidden spaces and unknown chambers concealed within the most iconic monument of the ancient world. At first, the news caused shockwaves. A void the size of the Grand Gallery was detected, along with a hidden corridor behind the northern face of the pyramid. The reaction was divided. Some Egyptologists dismissed the announcement as exaggerated, while others, however, understood the magnitude. Some respected Egyptologists went so far as to call it the most important discovery of the 21st century. What could be waiting inside these untouched spaces, and why were they built at all? Regardless of opinion, the Scan Pyramids mission pressed forward. Using cutting-edge muon detectors, scientists mapped invisible cavities inside the structure. Their instruments, delicate, precise, and painstakingly calibrated, captured evidence of the North Face corridor, just 80 centimeters beneath the outer surface. But while the data was compelling, it wasn't enough to allow excavation. Years passed, progress slowed, and speculation grew. The global pandemic in 2020 nearly halted the project entirely. Yet even during that time, quiet progress continued. Teams of researchers placed 10 muon detectors in position, gathering months of data to confirm the corridor's exact location and dimensions. Their findings showed the passage was 2.3 meters high, large enough for people to enter, yet strangely unnecessary if it was only meant to reduce pressure from above. To find answers, the team turned to ground-penetrating radar and ultrasonic testing, methods not without controversy in Egyptology. These scans confirmed the muography results. At last, an endoscopic camera was threaded into the corridor, slipping through a narrow masonry joint. For the first time in thousands of years, human eyes looked into a space deliberately sealed by ancient builders. The North Face corridor remains partially revealed and accessible, unlike other large voids, such as the Big Void high above the Grand Gallery. With careful excavation, this passage offers the clearest opportunity yet to explore sealed spaces within the Great Pyramid. For now, what lies beyond remains hidden, but the discoveries so far continue to illuminate the ingenuity and ambition of the pyramid's builders. The images were grainy, but they told a fascinating story. The corridor's ceiling was built with chevrons, pairs of massive limestone blocks leaning inward to form a gabled vault. Yet unlike other pyramid ceilings, these chevrons contained large round holes carved directly into their faces. Experts believe these cavities once held wooden beams, temporary supports used while the ceiling blocks were set in place. Other details added to the intrigue. The floor appeared divided by joints, perhaps designed to allow selective access through specific blocks. The chevrons themselves, rather than being staggered as in traditional weight-relieving designs, were aligned in perfect pairs. At the southern end of the passage, a curious step-up suggested a possible connection to higher levels within the pyramid, hinting at a hidden architectural purpose. Comparison with Campbell's Chamber, the highest relieving space above the King's Chamber, offers further insight. There, builders carved notches into massive granite beams to hold temporary wooden supports during construction. The North Face corridor seems to copy this practice. The limestone chevrons contain similar cavities. The resemblance suggests that ancient engineers may have been experimenting, testing how new vault designs could bear the crushing weight of millions of tons of stone. Still, the mystery deepens. Muon scans revealed no empty space larger than a square meter beyond the corridor's southern wall, but a passage just under those dimensions could escape detection, especially if backfilled with sand or rubble. In fact, a 1987 drill near the Queen's Chamber uncovered exactly such a hidden cavity, filled with sand that Muon imaging could never reveal. Could the North Face corridor once have extended farther, linking to unseen passages still waiting inside the Great Pyramid? The question remains open. For now, the Ministry of Antiquities has permitted no further excavation. Experts simply do not know what lies beyond. But history warns against inaction. In the 1830s, Howard Weiss forced his way into the relieving chambers above the King's Chamber, uncovering evidence that transformed our understanding of pyramid construction. Without that bold intervention, a vital chapter of the Great Pyramid's story would have remained untold. Sometimes, careful intrusion is the only way forward, balancing curiosity with preservation. The North Face corridor may offer the safest opportunity yet. Unlike the Big Void, high above the Grand Gallery and far beyond reach, this passage lies close to the surface, accessible and already partially revealed. With the right technique, a small excavation could unlock paths long sealed by the builders themselves. For now, what lies beyond the North Face corridor remains hidden. But one thing is certain, the story of the Great Pyramid is far from finished. And to what might still be waiting inside, we must look back at the past, to the astonishing discoveries archaeologists have already uncovered beneath other pyramids. What archaeologists already found beneath other pyramids. In 2019, Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities made a historic announcement. After more than 50 years, the Bent Pyramid of Dashur would reopen to the public. This decision followed a decade of restoration and scientific study, an effort that preserved one of Egypt's oldest pyramids while revealing new insights into its construction and internal structure. South of Cairo, 30 kilometers beyond the familiar shapes of Giza, the Bent Pyramid rises from the desert sands. On the Dashur Plateau, it dominates the horizon, its unusual form visible from miles away. At more than 100 meters tall, with sides stretching nearly 200 meters, its lower slopes ascend sharply at 54 degrees before suddenly bending to a gentler 43 degrees. This bent profile has long puzzled architects and explorers. Was it a structural adjustment or a deliberate design? The question remains, and it only adds to the pyramid's aura of mystery. When the pyramid was first reopened in 1839 by British engineer John Perring, its secrets began to emerge. Two separate entrances, one on the north face, the other on the west, led to distinct internal chamber systems. In effect, the structure was two pyramids in one. The northern entrance, 12 meters above ground, opens onto a narrow passage more than 70 meters long. Less than a meter wide, it forces explorers to crouch and shuffle along, breathing air trapped for millennia. At the end lies a small antechamber, beyond which stands the first main chamber. Though limited in floor space, it rises 17 meters high, its corbelled ceiling supported by cedar beams imported from Lebanon. For over 4.5 millennia, these timbers have carried the immense weight above. On the southern wall, a vertical shaft climbs 15 meters before stopping abruptly. Its purpose remains unknown. Accessing the upper chamber is even more demanding. A tiny hole less than a meter across leads high above the lower chamber floor, requiring ropes to climb. A narrow, steep tunnel follows, 19 meters in length, forcing explorers to crawl. This tunnel opens into the second chamber, often referred to as the burial chamber, though no sarcophagus has ever been found there. The upper chamber, nearly 8 by 5 meters, shows signs of modification. Its floor was raised twice with masonry layers, and fragments of cedar beams still protrude from the walls. Experts debate whether the adjustments were meant to strengthen the ceiling or if the chamber was abandoned unfinished. Some speculate a sarcophagus could still lie concealed beneath the stone fill, though nothing has been confirmed. The west entrance, long blocked, provides another route to the same chamber. Cleared only in the mid-20th century, it revealed a unique discovery: a bat mummy sealed in a wooden box, adding an unusual layer of intrigue to the pyramid's history. The pyramid's exterior reveals further ingenuity. Unlike later structures, its casing stones were deliberately tilted inward, locking them securely. Massive yellow limestone blocks quarried 40 kilometers away lean inward at up to 9 degrees, helping explain why the Bent Pyramid remains one of Egypt's best-preserved monuments. Despite centuries of earthquakes and stone robbing, much of the original casing still clings to the sides, offering a glimpse of the pyramid's original brilliance. The sudden change in angle, from 54 to 43 degrees, continues to puzzle researchers. While some point to structural cracks as the cause, others argue the proportions are too precise to be accidental. The design may have been intentional, with 2 angles, 2 chambers, and 2 entrances, reflecting a duality built into the architecture itself. Beside the bent pyramid stands a smaller satellite pyramid, rising just 23 meters. Excavations revealed sarcophagi and human remains, suggesting it may have belonged to a queen. Its internal layout, a descending passage, an ascending corridor, and a central burial chamber, mirrors structural solutions tested in larger pyramids. Just north of the bent pyramid lies the Red Pyramid, built at a stable 43-degree angle. It is Egypt's first true smooth-sided pyramid and remains the 3rd largest in the country. For the first time, the architects achieved precise proportions and internal planning that had eluded earlier experiments. From a distance, the Red Pyramid glows with a faint reddish hue, the natural color of limestone quarried from the eastern desert cliffs. Originally, smooth white casing stones reflected sunlight across the Nile Valley. Today, only fragments of that outer layer survive near the base. Visitors approach the Red Pyramid via a wooden staircase on the northern face, climbing 28 meters above the desert floor. Early explorers described the challenge of navigating its steep, narrow passage, which plunges 65 meters into the pyramid's core. Inside, the passage forces visitors to stoop and crawl, the air heavy with dust and faint ammonia. Small cracks in the masonry allow tiny currents of air to circulate, hinting at ventilation techniques used by the original builders. The first chamber is immediately striking, a high corbelled vault rising like a stone canyon. Each layer of limestone projects inward slightly, distributing the immense weight above and ensuring stability for nearly 5,000 years. Every surface bears the marks of ancient masons, whose precise chiseling and careful placement of blocks remain visible. A short passage leads to the second chamber, larger yet similarly constructed. Its soaring corbelled ceiling forms a vast stone cavern. Modern wooden staircases allow closer inspection of the masonry and subtle repairs, revealing the careful experimentation with weight distribution perfected over decades of pyramid construction. The final chamber, the burial chamber, is where the ammonia scent is the strongest, with walls rising high and a corbelled roof. Though empty, laser scans reveal floor leveling and indentations designed for a massive central object. The absence of a burial object remains a mystery. Advanced scanning methods, including muon imaging, have sought hidden chambers, yet none have been confirmed. Excavations around the Red Pyramid further illuminate its construction. 19th century explorers cleared sand and rubble from entrances and passages, documenting the immense effort required to reach its interior. Surveys show massive limestone blocks forming the lower courses, with smaller stones in the upper layers. Flooded passageways and subterranean shafts, Osiris shaft. Beneath the sands of Giza lies a mystery that may predate even the pyramids themselves. Known as the Osiris shaft, this subterranean structure plunges 35 meters into solid bedrock, lying directly beneath the long limestone causeway that stretches toward the Sphinx, the Chephren Causeway. Unlike the pyramids above, the Osiris shaft is hidden, largely inaccessible, and shrouded in secrecy. Its purpose, construction, and the materials used within remain puzzles to this day. At the bottom of this deep shaft lies the tomb of Osiris, a secret chamber unlike any other in Egypt. In its center rests a massive granite sarcophagus, surrounded by an artificial canal filled with water. The design is deliberate and precise, referencing the myth of Osiris, whose tomb was said to rise from an island surrounded by water. But the surprises do not end there. One of the sarcophagi is made from a material entirely unknown in Egyptian archaeology, a stone found nowhere else in the ancient world. The Osiris shaft was clearly not built for frequent access. There are no ladders or stairs. The modern ladders in place were installed by archaeologists to allow careful exploration. Yet the builders went to extraordinary lengths, lowering massive granite sarcophagi into the depths rather than carving simple burial chambers in the bedrock. These sarcophagi differ from the surrounding stone and bear no inscriptions. Their purpose is not immediately clear. Were they ceremonial, functional, or both? Or did they serve some other role we have yet to comprehend? Hewn directly from solid bedrock, the shaft contains no additional stonework or masonry, making traditional dating impossible. Modern techniques, however, have begun to shed light on its age. Of the original 7 sarcophagi, 5 have vanished over time, leaving only 2 enormous examples. Each is estimated to weigh as much as 40 tons. How were these colossal objects lowered into the shaft without blocking the entrance? Experts have speculated that water may have played a role, but the exact method remains unknown. The imagination struggles to envision the feat. The surviving sarcophagi are extraordinary in both material and construction. One rests in a niche on the south wall of the second level. It is black, coated with a thin layer of bitumen. Beneath that lies a metallic film composed mainly of lead, with traces of zinc, iron, titanium, and arsenic. Why was this metallic layer applied? Could it have been decorative, or might it have served a functional or ceremonial purpose, perhaps related to preservation or ritual? The answers remain elusive. The other surviving sarcophagus in the north wall's end niche is gray. Mineralogical analysis reveals it is composed of dacite, an igneous rock unknown in any other Egyptian artifact. Dacite consists largely of feldspar and quartz, with fine crystals giving it a dull luster. Geologists familiar with Africa confirm that no dacite deposits large enough to produce a sarcophagus of this size exist on the continent. This implies the stone was imported, likely from across the Mediterranean, possibly Europe or the Black Sea. Dating this dacite sarcophagus has revealed astonishing results. Using optical thermoluminescence, researchers calculated the last time the stone's crystals were exposed to sunlight or intense heat. This technique measures electrons trapped in the crystal structure, which slowly accumulate when the stone is buried or shielded from light. The results suggest the sarcophagus may date to around 3,350 BCE, nearly 1,000 years before the 4th dynasty and the construction of the Giza pyramids. Inside the sarcophagi, other anomalies were discovered. Gamma radiation readings revealed that the stones emit levels strong enough to sterilize organic material. Professor Robert Temple noted that the radiation inside the dacite sarcophagus was twice as high as the surrounding rock. Such intensity could have preserved organic matter far more effectively than embalming techniques alone. The lead coating may have amplified this effect, acting as a primitive radiation shield, a sophistication modern science only begins to understand. A third sarcophagus, located on a lower level, is composed of granite rather than dacite. Dating suggests it was added later, likely during the Middle Kingdom, coinciding with Osiris' rise in Egyptian religion. This indicates that the shaft was not a static monument, but a structure expanded and modified over centuries. Level 3, with its water-filled canal and 4 square pillars, is younger than the primary levels below, yet it displays the same remarkable precision and engineering skill. The water-filled canal surrounding the artificial island at the shaft's lowest level adds another layer of mystery. How did the builders maintain a stable water level 35 meters underground? Experts suggest that hidden channels and chambers may have been constructed to regulate water supply. Concealed underwater conduits may have drawn water from nearby springs. The complexity of such an undertaking points to a highly sophisticated design, one that was functional, precise, and perhaps ritualistic in nature. Was this shaft simply a tomb or part of a broader system of subterranean engineering yet to be uncovered? The Osiris shaft has long resisted full exploration. The ladders allow access only to certain areas, leaving much of the lower levels untouched. Could there be additional chambers or hidden passages nearby? Experts believe it is possible. The unusual stones, advanced engineering, and precise construction hint at a civilization with knowledge far beyond what we typically associate with pre-dynastic Egypt. While experts grapple with the enigma of the Osiris shaft, their efforts have doubled in the quest to unravel the secrets of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Grounded theories in expert context. When the Scan Pyramid's North Face corridor was announced, Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, suggested that the North Face corridor might function as a relieving chamber, designed to reduce the weight on the passages below. He even speculated that there could be another tunnel or entrance above the existing descending passage. However, experts quickly expressed skepticism. While the corridor's sloped roof bears a resemblance to the weight-relieving ceilings above the Queen's chamber and the space above the King's chamber, recent images suggest this is unlikely. In traditional relieving chambers, the ceiling stones are deliberately offset, so the failure of one stone does not compromise the others. In the North Face corridor, however, the stones align almost perfectly, and indentations suggest that wooden supports were once installed, a design inconsistent with standard relieving practices. Moreover, the question arises, why would such weight relief be necessary in this location? The descending passage and any hypothesized tunnel above it are narrow, roughly 2 cubits wide and 2 cubits, 2 palms high, matching specifications used throughout the pyramid without weight-relieving features. Creating a special chamber here seems unnecessary. Even so, speculation persists. Zahi Hawass, a prominent Egyptologist, suggested the corridor could conceal the true burial place of Pharaoh Khufu. He proposed that the corridor might protect tunnels, leading directly to a hidden chamber beneath the north face. While his statement sparked excitement, it remains entirely speculative, with no tangible evidence to support it. The notion that the ancient Egyptians would undertake monumental architectural feats only to place Khufu's burial chamber directly beneath a small, exposed corridor seems improbable, but it shows the ongoing fascination with the pyramid's hidden spaces. Interestingly, the idea of a tunnel above the descending passage predates these discoveries. In 1986, Gilles Dormion and Jean-Patrice Ouidin published a paper predicting a horizontal passage beneath the chevron blocks above the current entrance. They suggested that such a corridor could run all the way to the Grand Gallery, describing it as a rational response to the device above the entrance, what we now know as the chevrons. The recent discovery lends weight to their decades-old prediction, though it also points out the limits of early theorists, who could only speculate on the passage's size and purpose. For now, the north face corridor extends roughly 9 meters from the chevron blocks, with raised stones protruding from the floor, strangely similar to a 1965 drawing by J. Bruchet, which envisioned a hidden corridor in the same location. Keith Hamilton, a leading scholar on the pyramids, has suggested a more practical interpretation. He draws parallels with the 5th dynasty pyramid of Nefertiti, where a simple corridor provided access for construction above and below. Similarly, the north face corridor may have served as a construction passage, enabling workers to reach the Grand Gallery, King's Chamber, and Queen's Chamber while moving materials, ventilating the work site, and removing debris. If this corridor did indeed connect to the Grand Gallery, as some evidence suggests, it would have been a vital part of the pyramid's logistics. Unlike the Grand Gallery's towering vertical space, the north face corridor is broad enough for a person to stand upright, with a flat, even floor and a general corridor shape, unlike any other known passage in the pyramid. Its construction could have facilitated the monumental task of building the inner chambers while work continued above. Despite these insights, much about the north face corridor remains unresolved. Is it simply a construction corridor, or could it connect to as-yet undiscovered tunnels? Does it hint at hidden chambers within the pyramid, or is it a practical feature that has been misunderstood for millennia? Experts, including Goudin, continue to explore these questions through computer-generated models of secondary tunnels and internal ramps. The discovery has reignited debate within Egyptology. Slow-moving bureaucracy, divergent theories, and the cautious approach of major archaeologists raise questions about how further exploration will proceed. Will researchers deploy more advanced cameras to peer deeper into the corridor? Could a small robot, or eventually a human, be sent inside to reveal what lies beyond? Why some areas remain sealed? Some areas of the North Face corridor have not been explored since 2023 due to a combination of technical, safety, and procedural challenges. Access to these sections is extremely limited. The corridor is narrow and partially blocked by massive stones. Inserting cameras or robots is difficult, and human entry is impossible without risking damage to the ancient structure. The structural safety of the Great Pyramid is a primary concern. Being thousands of years old, the pyramid is delicate, and any intrusive exploration could destabilize surrounding stones or tunnels. Archaeologists must proceed with extreme caution to avoid causing irreversible harm. Another challenge lies in precision mapping. Although muon scans confirm the corridor's existence, the full orientation and potential connections of the passage are not yet fully mapped. Without exact measurements, attempts to explore further could be misguided or unsafe. Conservation protocols imposed by the Egyptian authorities, including the Ministry of Antiquities, strictly regulate any intrusive work. Exploration must adhere to these guidelines to preserve the site for future generations. Combined with the technological limitations of robots and cameras, which struggle to navigate tight spaces while capturing detailed data, these factors explain why sections of the North Face corridor remain untouched. In recent months, Dr. Zahi Hawass has shared insights about pyramid exploration on 2 major podcasts, The Joe Rogan Experience and Matt Bell's Limitless. It was on Limitless that Hawass revealed an ambitious new mission: to explore the mysterious Big Void, first detected by the Scan Pyramids project in 2017. Nearly a decade after its discovery, the time has finally come to investigate one of the most enigmatic internal spaces of the Great Pyramid. The Big Void is unlike anything explored before. Though muon tomography confirmed its existence, the scans offered only a rough estimate of its size and position. Its exact orientation, horizontal, sloping north, or inclined south, remains unknown. Blind drilling is impossible. The Great Pyramid is a delicate structure, and any error could be catastrophic. Instead, researchers are turning to a combination of non-invasive technologies: infrared thermography, ground-penetrating radar, and ultrasound. Each method comes with limitations, and gathering precise data will take months, if not years. Leading the exploration is Dr. Hawass himself, alongside engineer and inventor Shaw Whitehead. Shaw is no stranger to hidden pyramid spaces. He developed the Jedi robot, which explored the Queen's Chamber southern shaft and revealed red ochre markings beyond the Gantenbrink door. His experience extends far beyond Egypt, from lunar missions in India and China to consulting for NASA satellite projects. Together, the team is preparing to determine the Big Void's precise location and orientation, after which a small access point could be created. Experts anticipate sending in a snake-like robot or endoscopic camera to survey the chamber. The goal is not to rush in, but to capture clear images and measurements, ensuring safety while uncovering secrets buried for millennia. The Big Void is not alone. Smaller passages, like the North Face corridor, may hold clues to a hidden internal network. Researchers are investigating whether these voids connect, forming a deliberate system designed for construction, ventilation, or symbolic purposes. If such links exist, they could shed light on the broader architecture of the Great Pyramid. Beyond the Great Pyramid, similar discoveries are emerging across the Giza Plateau. In the Pyramid of Menkaure, a void was found behind the flattened casing stones on the east side, a location predicted decades earlier by researcher Stein Vondenhoven. The coming years promise to be pivotal. With the Big Void mapped, smaller passages examined, and new voids across Egypt under investigation, researchers stand on the brink of a new era in Egyptology. Dr. Hawass has expressed a desire to live stream these explorations, offering the public an unprecedented window into discoveries as they happen. For pyramid enthusiasts and scientists alike, this represents a rare opportunity to witness history being uncovered in real time. For now, the Big Void remains largely inaccessible, high above the Grand Gallery, untouched and mysterious. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.